Hello, dear soul. Welcome to Prophetic Message. You didn't stumble on this word by mistake. You were led here because heaven has something to say to your heart right now. And if you open your spirit, you will feel it immediately. Your angels are close, and they're speaking clearly. Someone who loves you very deeply, maybe more deeply than they've ever shown, is about to surprise you. Not in the way you've experienced before, not in the way you've come to expect from others, but in a way that will touch your heart so unexpectedly, so divinely, it will leave no room for doubt. Before we go any deeper, if you can feel something stirring inside already, I want you to type this in the comments. I believe or I receive. Let this be your declaration. Let this be your agreement with the Spirit. Your heart knows what your eyes haven't seen yet, and the angels have come to confirm what your spirit has been sensing. If you're new here, take a moment to subscribe and click the notification bell, because here, we don't just speak words. We share messages that heaven has whispered for you alone. Messages meant to prepare you, uplift you, and bring healing to your soul. Now take a deep breath, because this one is going to reach you where words don't usually go. You've been patient. You've been praying. You've been growing through loneliness, loss, and silence. But in all that stillness, in all that inner work, your spirit was being prepared for someone who sees you with heaven's eyes, not with judgment, not with fear, but with honor. This person, whether you know them already or not, has been touched by your energy. They felt your spirit, even when words weren't spoken, and they are being stirred to do something that will surprise even you. A message, a visit. An invitation, a confession, but not out of pressure, out of revelation. They are realizing that what they feel for you isn't ordinary. It's not something they can replace or run from. It's sacred. It's divine. It's assigned. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" This surprise will feel like that. Something springing up out of nowhere. But it isn't really out of nowhere. It's out of everywhere. Because God has been working behind every corner of the unseen to bring this into being. You've been feeling like nothing is happening. But in the spirit realm, everything is moving. The person meant to love you, the one who has carried unspoken feelings, the one who has been silently growing just like you, they are about to show up. And not as a test, not to play games, but to bring clarity. To bring peace. To bring a confirmation that yes, love still exists in a holy form. Proverbs 18:12 says, "Before a downfall the heart is haughty, but humility comes before honor." This person has been humbled. They've walked through things that have softened them. They've looked for connection elsewhere, only to feel empty. They've tried to distract themselves, but the feeling of you keeps coming back. And they're not just coming back with empty words. They're coming with a plan. With a gesture that speaks louder than anything they could say. And here's the miracle. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to beg for it. You won't have to explain your worth, because they already see it. Not just because of who you are, but because of who they've become while learning what love really means. Matthew 6:33 says, "But seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you." That's what you've been doing. You've been choosing healing. You've been choosing growth. You've been choosing God, even when your heart longed for connection. And now the things you didn't chase are about to chase you. That's what favor looks like. That's what alignment feels like. You stopped performing. You stopped pretending. And because of that, God is sending someone who doesn't want a performance. They want your presence, and your angels are guiding them right to it. They are feeling the nudges, dreams, the divine signs. They're praying for courage, because this isn't easy for them either. But something stronger than fear is rising up inside of them. Love. Real, selfless, holy love. And that love is making them want to move, to speak, to act, to surprise you. And not just with words, but with intention. Romans 8:18 says, I consider that our present sufferings are not worth comparing with the glory that will be revealed in us. You've suffered, you've cried in secret, you've been disappointed so many times. You started expecting the worst even when things looked good, but that cycle is ending because someone is about to break through every wall you built, not by force, but by patience, by consistency, by something so unexpected that your defenses won't know how to react, but your spirit will. It will recognize them, and you will feel safe to breathe again. You will feel safe to hope again, and it will hit you. All at once. God didn't forget. God didn't mislead you. God didn't leave you behind. Psalm 27 minutes and 14 seconds says, wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart, and wait for the Lord. You've waited. You've walked away from things that looked good but didn't feel right. You've learned to sit with yourself in silence instead of accepting chaos. And now, that posture of surrender is bringing the one thing your heart has craved, divine connection. And yes, it's going to come in a way that catches you off guard, because it's not coming the way you thought. It's not coming in the timing you imagined. It's not coming through the channel you predicted. It's coming through obedience. Through divine leading, through a moment where someone who's been holding back decides enough is enough. And they move. And when they do, you'll feel the shift. You'll feel the energy change. You'll feel your heart flutter, not with anxiety, but with peace, because peace will always precede what's from God. Not confusion, not chaos. Just stillness. Stillness that says, I've been waiting for this. Ephesians 3:20 tells us, now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. More than you asked, more than you dreamed. That's what this is. You might have thought love would show up dressed in familiarity, but it's coming clothed in revelation, and it will feel like someone who knows your heart. Even if they're just beginning to learn your story, they will hold space for you, not because they're trying to win you, but because they've been sent to protect you. Love like that doesn't knock at your door every day. That's why it's taken time. That's why it's been quiet. That's why you haven't seen it until now, because it had to be real. And the real things require spiritual maturity. They require heaven's touch. They require divine patience. But now your angels are saying, get ready. It's about to happen. Suddenly. Clearly. And beautifully. This isn't a warning. It's a preparation. Someone is going to surprise you. With their words, with their actions. With their clarity. And you'll feel the truth in their energy. You won't need proof. Your peace will confirm it. Let this word sink into your spirit. Let it become a seed that blooms when the time is right. There's something you need to understand about divine timing. It never rushes. It never lingers. It always arrives at the moment your spirit is most ready. Not your emotions, not your assumptions, but your soul. And your soul has reached a threshold. You may not realize it yet, but the heavens do. They've been watching you let go of people who couldn't love you the way you deserve. They've seen you release habits that were dimming your light. They've heard your quiet surrender the moment you said, God, if this is truly from you, let it come in peace. And that prayer didn't go unnoticed. It was answered. And now that answer is about to show up through someone who carries love for you in the deepest part of their spirit. They haven't been able to shake it. They've tried, but there's a voice inside of them that keeps leading them back to you. And they've reached a moment of decision. No more delay. No more hesitation. They've realized what they carry in their heart. For you can't stay hidden any longer. It has to be spoken. It has to be shown. And they want to do it in a way that shows you just how seriously they take this connection. They're not just showing up with feelings. They're showing up with fruit. With evidence. With spiritual maturity. Because they know that love without clarity is confusion. And they don't want to confuse you. They want to cover you, to protect what they feel, to build something sacred. You may be wondering, but what if I don't know who they are? Your angels are already answering that question. They want you to release the need to figure it out, and instead, prepare to receive the feeling when it comes. Because when it's real, you won't need a name first. You'll feel the peace before you feel the butterflies. You'll feel the stillness before the excitement. You'll feel the alignment before the attention. And when that happens, your soul will remember what heaven already showed you. 1 Corinthians 2-9 says, "No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love Him." What God is preparing for you is beyond what you imagined, and that's why it had to take time. You didn't ask for surface love. You didn't ask for temporary affection. You asked for something real, and real takes time. Real requires heaven's timing, not your own. So the delay was divine. It protected you from rushing. It protected them from arriving unprepared, because they had to go through a transformation too. They had to walk through their own wilderness, to unlearn old ways of love, to soften, to surrender. And just like you, they've been molded by the process, which is why this union won't feel like any you've had before. It will feel new, but familiar. Like something ancient that finally found its way back into your life. Like something eternal that's only now becoming visible. Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, "He has made everything beautiful in its time." And the time is drawing near. The beauty is about to reveal itself. Through an unexpected message, a sudden visit, a voice that sounds like peace, a surprise that speaks to your soul, not just your emotions. And when it comes, don't panic, don't overthink, don't sabotage what you've been praying for. Just breathe. Just receive. Just allow your spirit to recognize what your heart already feels. Because love sent by heaven doesn't beg to be understood. It just makes sense. You won't need 100 confirmations. One moment of realness will be enough. Their honesty will settle you. Their eyes will tell the truth. Their presence will feel like the answer to the question you stopped asking out loud. You see, the surprise that's coming isn't just about them showing up. It's about how they'll show up. They'll come with clarity, with depth. With an understanding of your value. And they won't want to play with your emotions. They'll want to protect them. They won't want to use your past against you. They'll want to honor your healing. They'll see you not as someone to fix, but someone to walk with. And they'll be grateful, because they'll know what it cost you to become this version of yourself. They'll feel the holiness in your softness. They'll see the courage in your vulnerability. They'll recognize the fire in your faith. And they'll want to be the one who guards it. That's the surprise. Not just someone expressing love, but someone showing up worthy of it. Someone who says, "You don't have to convince me, I already know." Psalm 34:5 says, "Those who look to Him are radiant. Their faces are never covered with shame." You will not be put to shame for hoping again. You will not be embarrassed for believing again. You will not be let down for trusting the divine process. Because this time, your belief is rooted in spiritual discernment, not fantasy. And your angels are guarding this blessing fiercely. They've been clearing out distractions. They've been shutting doors that weren't good for you, not to punish you, but to protect what's coming. You didn't lose anything real. You lost what couldn't go where you're headed. And now that you've healed, now that you've surrendered, now that you've matured, you're finally able to receive love from someone who can meet you there. Not below. Not behind, but beside you. Equally surrendered, equally aligned, equally invested. Someone who doesn't just want you in their life. They've been preparing to build a life with you, and they're going to show that in a way you never expected. Maybe it'll be in a note left quietly where you'll find it. Maybe it'll be in a call that comes when you least expect. Maybe it'll be a confession they share through trembling words and hopeful eyes. But it will be real. It will be sacred. It will be timed by heaven, and your spirit will say, "This is it." Isaiah 55:8-9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts. Neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. God's way of bringing this into your life is different than what you planned. But it's better, because His thoughts are higher. And His love stories are written with eternal ink. Somewhere in this moment, while you're hearing these words, someone's spirit is being stirred. They may not even understand why. They can't stop thinking of you. They may not be able to explain why your name keeps rising in their thoughts. Like a song that won't fade, but heaven knows, your angels know, God knows, because you are part of their divine assignment. Your love is part of their spiritual awakening, and the connection they feel toward you is not obsession, it's revelation. It's a knowing that there's something deeper, something sacred, something that can't be denied anymore. They've tried to silence it. They've tried to bury it under logic, distraction, and fear. But love like this won't be silenced, not when it's been planted by God, not when it was written before time began. 2 Timothy 1-7 reminds us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." This person is finally beginning to move past the fear. They're starting to trust the feeling that's been growing silently in their heart. A feeling that you were not just someone they passed by. You were someone they were meant to find. Now their heart is pressing forward. It's being led by the Spirit to do something unexpected. Not for attention. Not for show. But because the truth can't be hidden anymore. They love you. Maybe in silence. Maybe from a distance. But soon. Not anymore. They want you to know. And not just with words, but with actions. With steps. With a presence that speaks louder than any confession ever could. You'll feel it before you see it. Something will shift in the atmosphere. A peace will arrive ahead of them like a gentle wind. A clarity will come into your chest. Stillness will hush the noise of all the almosts and maybes that disappointed you before, and you'll feel the difference between someone who's guessing and someone who's guided. This person is not coming to ask for your attention. They're coming to honor your value, because they've been made aware of it. By dreams, by divine whispers, by a realization that the connection they feel isn't one they could manufacture. They've realized you were not a coincidence. You were not just someone. You were sent. And now they're ready to respond to that. Knowing. With courage. With humility. With something real. Romans 12-9 says, "Let love be without hypocrisy. Abhor what is evil. Cling to what is good." This person wants their love to be real, without pretense, without the masks they've worn before. They don't want to play a role. They want to show you their heart. And they want to give you something you didn't expect. Consistency. Stability. Intention. They want to be the reason you stop wondering if love can last. They want to be the one who proves that love can be holy again. Not just felt, but lived out. Every day. In the quiet ways. In the little moments. In the way they speak to you. In the way they listen. In the way they pray with you and for you. You may not see it yet, but they're on their way, because God has already cleared the path. God has already whispered your name into their spirit, and now they're just following the instruction. Isaiah 30-21 says, "Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, 'This is the way. Walk in it.'" They are hearing that voice now. It's telling them to move. To say what's been hidden. To show what's been buried. To walk toward the one God set apart for them. They may not come in grand gestures. They may not even know the perfect words, but their presence will feel sincere. Their voice will carry peace. And when they surprise you, it won't feel like a shock. It'll feel like something in your soul was waiting for it all along, because in the deepest part of you, you've known, not who. Not when, but what it would feel like. And it's that feeling that will guide you. It's that peace that will confirm it. It's that moment when your eyes meet and everything gets quiet inside. Because the Spirit is louder than noise. Love that is rooted in heaven doesn't need explanation. It brings revelation. You've waited. You've Trusted. And now, God is rewarding your trust not just with a person, but with a divine promise fulfilled. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths." He's been directing both of you all along. You didn't miss it. You didn't delay it. You didn't lose it. It's always been coming. And now, it's almost here. A surprise that isn't flashy but faithful. A surprise that doesn't stir your anxiety, but anchors your peace. Because this isn't about emotional highs. It's about holy partnership. And when it arrives, you'll feel God's fingerprint all over it. You won't have to force it. You won't have to chase it. You'll simply say, "Thank you, Lord. I didn't see this coming." But you did. That's what's being prepared right now, in real time. They are getting ready to come forward. They are praying for the strength. They are preparing the words. They are rehearsing in their mind how to let you know just how deep this love runs. And they don't expect perfection from you. They're not asking for performance. They're asking for presence. They're hoping that when they come, your heart will be soft enough to receive what they have to give. So stay soft. Stay open. Stay faithful. Because this is your moment. You've waited long enough. And this time, love is coming not to test you, but to bless you. If this message has spoken to you, if your spirit feels aligned with this word, type this in the comments now. Blessed and let heaven and earth witness your agreement. Let your angels rejoice in your faith. And let your declaration echo into the atmosphere that you are ready to receive what God has been preparing all along. If you haven't yet, I invite you to like this video. Not for attention, but as an act of agreement. As a moment of marking this word as yours. And please, share this message with someone you love. Someone who's been holding on quietly. Someone who needs to hear that heaven hasn't forgotten them. Someone who needs to remember that divine love is still possible. And when you share this, you become a messenger yourself. An extension of God's hand, a carrier of comfort. And if you haven't subscribed to Prophetic Message, do that now. Click the notification bell so you never miss a word that heaven sends. There's more coming. And the next video may be the message your heart didn't know it needed. Until then, keep believing, keep trusting. Keep preparing. Because the person who deeply loves you, the one whose heart has been drawn to you in silence, is about to surprise you. In the most holy, the most beautiful, the most unexpected way.